it's Leanne here with Anna Margolis. Is that, I'm pronouncing it right?
You know what, I'll take it.
Okay. Pretty bad. See, I'm screwing up everyone's name, but what the heck, we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Again, we're at the Wisdom Conference, and Anna is from the UK, but has a very deep connection in Montreal with Julianne Christophe. Many of you guys know in the Awakening Village community. You've seen her speak. So welcome very much. Thank you so much for videoing with us and chatting with us.
I'm always happy to reconnect with you.
Oh, thank you.
I would like to mention that when I came to Montreal and I came to an Awakening Village, I had a very profound experience there. I had a huge kind of surge of energy came through me, and I knew at that moment that there was something significant, which I shared with you, that I was excited to reconnect with you. So it's lovely to be able to.
It's so neat when we can tap into our intuition and know that something's happening, and we haven't seen each other in a year almost, but to know that there was something there, and when the time is right, it's going to happen again.
And surprise, we got brought into each other's world without trying.
Exactly. I mean, I was having a conversation with Julianne, and she and I have been trying to meet since that cafe, almost a year ago, and we just connected by a Skype about 2 weeks ago, and she said, Anna, my partner, is going to be in San Francisco. Oh my God, I'm going to the conference. Oh, she's going to be there. It's so cool. So tell us a little bit about the work you do. I know you're like kind of birthing it right now. It's a little bit new, but it's so exciting.
Yes, it is. Okay, like I said, it's one of those things. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier about how so many times we want to try to distill down what we're doing into a 30-second soundbite.
That's what I try to do with people, but it's hard.
But when you're dealing with things that are so amorphous and feel like so kind of divinely guided, often that's a huge refining process that takes time. One of my friends quoted Mark Twain. He said, "I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have time."
That's very good.
Like
I like
the ideal way of explaining.
My writing coach would like that.
Yes, exactly, and that's it. So we're in this process of bringing together this kind of story that's being birthed into creation. So we are kind of surrendering to the pace that it's unfolding at. But I'll do my best to kind of bullet point summary it for you. We're basically telling the story of the conscious revolution, and we are curating kind of the leading evolutionary material into this bigger story to see how all of these pieces that have developed over the course of the last 50, 60 years that have been out there in the world doing amazing things, but doing them separately, how we can weave them all together into a bigger story, so that people who are waking up can orient themselves in their process and can walk through their own hero's journey, knowing that they can connect with the right people at the right time on their path to catalyze and accelerate their own growth process.
Well, that was perfectly said. Now we have it videoed, so you can just take that and write it down on your website, right? That's great. No, that was really perfectly said, and how amazing, because there's just this absolute tidal wave of people that are coming, that are waking up. And while some of us have been doing some of this work for a few years, we didn't have a lot of what you're going to be offering to kind of put it in context and to see where to go, and we kind of were working in the blind a bit.
And I think that's basically what has kind of been the big motivating factor for us, is that waking up until now has been hard to do. It's been disorienting. You haven't known who you're speaking to, like what's happening. Usually when you wake up, you're surrounded by people who have no idea what you're going through.
Well, even waking up, that's been like for the last 5-6 years. What does that mean, and how do you define that? And people say, well, I'm already awake. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's an ongoing process. It's a lifetime process.
Exactly.
But it's interesting because I really feel like the initial waking up process has nothing to do with us. That's kind of something that happens irrespective of us as human beings.
What do you mean by that? Like,
so, like when somebody goes through, for example, like an ending and a new beginning. So often that's something that just happens in their life that they don't have any control over.
Death of my husband, right?
Exactly. Right? And or it's something, and there's this beautiful saying that that the universe whispers first, and if you don't pay attention, then you might get a bit more of a slap upside the head.
It whispered to me, and I didn't listen.
Exactly.
Damn.
So the process of waking you up can be gentle
Yes.
if you know how to pay attention
Yes.
to it. But
Yeah.
if you don't, it will come through repeatedly, more consecutively.
And wouldn't
painful
it be great
experiences.
if we could help people so that they could? 'Cause
Exactly.
that's exactly what happened to me. If I could just take
Yeah.
2 seconds. My husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer with very low chance of survival.
Yeah.
And he went through several months of surgery, horrific surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, came out of it 100% cancer-free.
Wow.
And we were like, we couldn't even believe our good
Yeah.
fortune, whatever, and we were kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop. We'd
Yeah.
gone through so much. But the only thing we kept thinking is we want to get back to our old life.
Yeah.
And we felt like that caterpillar that was trying to get back into that
Yeah.
cocoon.
Yeah,
And
good
it
luck with
wasn't.
that.
And guess what? 3 months later, the cancer came back
Right.
because that was the whisper
Yeah.
that we didn't quite listen to.
Exactly. So yeah, I feel like the waking up process is something that's out of our hands.
Mm-hmm.
But once we kind of have that initial opening experience, what do you do with it? How do you know what's happening? How do you know who to connect with, or who's going to be able to support you in your journey? You know, how do you determine whether, when you actually invest your money somewhere because you really are seeking some kind of growth, that's going to somewhere that's truly going to support you in the best way that
Yes.
you can. So we're here to kind of accelerate the process and enable people to make fewer kind of twists and turns and kind of bumps in the road on their journey, because there've been plenty of people who've come before us
Yes.
who've made the mistakes so
Yes.
that we don't have to.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah.
That is great.
basically
That is
in a
so
nutshell.
amazing. So maybe if you could connect with us in a few months or whenever you guys
Absolutely.
are further
Absolutely.
along, and we can maybe do a continuation to this, because
Yeah.
it's absolutely fascinating and the work is so needed right now.
Yeah.
And while there are some that are awakening, there's this, like I said, tidal wave that's coming. So
Yes.
there's masses and masses of people
And
that are going to need that help.
I also want to mention that part of the people that I'm here with, who obviously when you kind of came up to me, you could sort of moved into this space and this circle, are the people who've written the book on sacred commerce.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, in the process of building conscious changes, it is, you know, there are 2 fundamental elements to it. The first is that its purpose is to raise the consciousness of the world. The second piece is that in and of itself, the process of creating it is our own journey, you know, our own awakening experience and our own
Journey
evolution
within
of
the
consciousness.
journey.
Exactly. And those 2 pieces together are what constitute what is sacred commerce.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, we've also connected with the Sacred Commerce crew, and they are creating something called the Whole Life Network, which is the world's biggest conscious media channel to disseminate conscious information across the globe as widespread and as quickly as possible, leveraging social media as a real platform for being able to get out there and reach the people who are already seeking this information.
That is really, really exciting.
So, yeah, watch the
Amazing.
space for that. That's coming over the course
Can
of
you
the
just
next year.
describe very quickly what sacred commerce, that concept around sacred commerce is?
So, you know, like I said, there's kind of those 2 fundamental elements of it, and it's about, you know, once we kind of awaken to who we are and we want to express ourselves authentically in the world, because consciousness is all about being who we truly are. It's all about, you know, letting go of all of our conditioning and our programming, getting to that core truth of who we are. And when you start to connect to that and you identify with that, you can't pretend to be something that you're not anymore.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
everything that doesn't
Yes.
align with that starts
Yes.
to kind of dislodge and come up to the surface to be healed.
I think a lot of people will resonate with what you just said there so much.
And sacred commerce is all about, you know, how do you live your life from this space where you see the experience of becoming an authentic expression of yourself in a way that is valuable in the world, and
That's the
address
key,
all of the
the
stuff.
commerce part.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's essentially what is the growth process? Everything that we're doing in putting ourselves out there in the world is an invitation to grow. So if you're butting up against something, how can you take that information as something that you can learn from?
Butting up against if you can't make money doing it and earn a living and so forth. That's great. This is like right in my Zen spot.
Exactly.
Bringing kind of consciousnness together with business. So I know
Yes.
we're going to have some more conversations,
Definitely.
and hopefully we'll have some. I just learned a new term today. I think it was called pop-up events. Have you heard that
Pop-up
before?
events, yeah.
See, I'm really behind. So we'll have to have some pop-up events around this. See,
I love
learned
it.
these things.
I love it. It's all a learning experience.
Yeah, it's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
it's been
you.
really
Take your
wonderful.
time.
I'm gonna hug. Yay. Great. And thanks, Julianne, so much for introducing us, and we'll see you back home. Bye, guys.
Bye.